Welcome again to another edition of Woodsy's Weekly Picks here from the Lancaster Tap House with members of Lancaster City Council, of course. The Mayor, Darren Wilcox, is back. Our manager, Stacey Cattell from the Regina Pats, and our chairman of Ways and Means from the Lancaster Tap House, Tim Rogers, who's replacing Mike Lee. We don't really know why, because I didn't think Mike Lee did a bad job last week, but apparently he did.
He's in the back row now.
Yeah, now he's just going to chirp us all day.
He's too tall.
No, he had the red shirt. Like, you guys watch Star Trek, right? Everybody knows the red shirts get axed.
Yeah. Every guy in a red shirt dies.
Yeah.
Security guy gets it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's talk about last week. First of all, Calgary over the Argos 26-16. Okay, no surprise, we all went Calgary. But I was tempted to take Toronto, and it was a little closer than most anticipated.
Yeah, that game it looked like it was kind of in the first half. No one really wanted to take control, and I just think after a little bit going, belt buckle got it together, and away they went.
Well, I think they're in the same boat Calgary is as Saskatchewan. You have Arbuckle or belt buckle, whatever.
I go with belt buckle.
Yeah, belt buckle. He's going to do the same thing that Cody Fajardo is. He's going to struggle at times, and other parts of their game and their team are going to have to step up to help them win, and that happened. You can hold out some hope that's a positive for Toronto, but they're going to get crushed this week, so moving on.
Well, here's the deal, and the only reason I picked Toronto was because they usually play Calgary pretty tough, but the state of that team, how could you possibly go? But it's almost like the Stampeders, I think, Tim, really went down to the level of their competition.
And that happens, right? But I mean, you're the pro. You picked it. They didn't win, but they did play to them. It was a closer game than we would have thought.
Yeah, no question. All right, Winnipeg over the Red Blacks, 31-1. Oh, my goodness. Tim had the Red Blacks. What were you thinking?
Nice pick.
You know what? From the start of the year, I've had a higher value on Ottawa, but I think the last couple of weeks I've woken up, and especially that game. But you know what? It didn't start bad. It started, Winnipeg was a little bit slow, and Montreal had a couple plays together, and then it just snowballed, though. I mean, it was one of those games where bang and bang and bang, and then it was 3 touchdowns later, and it was 21-1.
I wasn't sure about Winnipeg, and at the beginning of the season, I really wasn't a believer. I wasn't a believer in Nichols. You look at them now, and they're the team to beat, no question about it. They're the class of the league.
Well, and the combination of Nichols and Streveler. I mean, he's just a beast back there. I mean, he just bowls. But they get within, it's 2nd and 5. They're getting a first down every time because he can power his way through that if they need to.
Yeah.
And don't forget who their running back is.
Well, that's exactly right, and what a ratio breaker he is too. And top Canadian in the league, and they've got so many weapons, and defense is great.
Is there a guy named Jefferson playing defense for them?
Jefferson has been a beast, and I don't think Big Hill hasn't been playing.
No, he hasn't played yet.
He's close, but I think they're benching him because they don't need him.
Right.
Crazy. So
can we just acknowledge Ottawa's running back puking on the field and how awesome that was?
Yeah, that was great. I think he had run the ball 4 times in a row, and he stands there and he yaks like big time, and the Winnipeg D are like yelling at the refs to kick him off the field, and he's like, "No, give me the ball." And they gave him the ball, and he ran again. I'm like, you know what? You're a player.
Willy Jefferson's Mike Rupp is yelling, "Hey ref, he's puking on the field, ref."
I know, I saw that. That was gross.
Oh,
Any given
You really have to show that.
He's
Willy
a gamer.
Beeman.
He's a
Willy
gamer.
Beeman.
Willy Beamer.
Willy Beeman.
Beeman.
I love
yeah,
it.
that's right. Beeman.
Love it.
There you go. Steamin' Willy Beeman.
Steamin' Willy Beeman.
Right. The Alouettes over the Eskimos. Now, let's see here. Tim picked the Alouettes. Woodsy picked the Alouettes. Willy picked the Alouettes. Stacey did not.
Nope. I'm still not on the Alouette wagon. I'm gonna make a comparison. Last year, everybody talked about our offense, and Saskatchewan was terrible, and defense was winning games, and you can't win if you don't have an offense. Well, the comparison I'm making, the last 2 games. So again, what happened in this game? Edmonton had 2 touchdowns called back on what I would say are crappy calls. So when you prove to me that you can win out You take the refs out of it. You can win out, not on turnovers. You can win out.
Can I just
No. Adams Jr. was running for his life, throwing and slinging. Edmonton was over pursuing. So good on him. They won. I'm wrong. That's great. I'm not on the bandwagon yet because I do not think, much like Saskatchewan last year, we had an inflated record with a great defense. They are not there yet.
You're an inflated record.
Yeah, whatever.
No,
They're not that good yet. Boys.
I just want to say something. You're stupid. We had this fight Saturday night,
Yeah.
sitting at the bar.
Boy, them's fighting words.
I know but no. I mean, I've said all year Montreal's better than they are, and I like them, and I think they're going to do something this year. They've beaten 3 quality teams. I'm maybe not.
I like their quarterback certainly, Vernon Adams. I think he's coming into his own. I really love that running back stand back. I think he's a keeper for sure. Defensively, I don't know yet. I agree. I mean, I don't think that the Alouettes are going to be one of those teams that's certainly going to win the Grey Cup.
No, I don't.
But at the same time, I like what they're doing in the East and making it and make it an interesting over there. And who knows now, they're going to be able to prevent maybe a crossover from coming over from the West for the first time in a long time.
And I think the new thing in here is Kahari Jones as a coach.
Oh, yeah.
What has he done there? Like he's
They're
fantastic.
They are playing
They're
for
playing
him.
for
So when teams playing for their coach, watch out.
As I said, I'm not there yet. They got to prove to me a little bit, and I go back to the experience that we had last year with our Rough Riders. You know what? We were all pumped up about our Rough Riders and what our defense was doing, but there are still things that are misfiring, or they're getting some good benefits out of bad calls. Remember, the game they won before, 6 turnovers in that game, right?
We had a dummy coach last year. It's different.
All right, I'm just moving on from it. Doesn't Tim have a commercial about dumb?
No, we got one more
student
game to talk about.
Yeah, I built it for you.
Riders over the BC Lions, 38-25. I thought it was going to be a stomping. I still say it was a stomping, even though that last touchdown was in garbage time. It was a stomping. Woodsy got it. Tim got it. Stacey got it.
Zoom in on him.
Can I say one thing?
Zoom in.
17 of my followers on this video podcast said, don't zoom in. So don't zoom in.
Yeah. Too late now.
Obviously, I need a facial.
Hey.
That's what they told me. I missed that one, and I've got a different pick for this week coming up.
All right. Well, that's okay. You got to take chances now and then. That's what this is all about. But are the Riders now? Okay, their 2 wins have come against the BC Lions and the Toronto Argonauts. Is the jury still out on the green and white?
Absolutely. You know what? Here's what impressed me. Fiardo came back. Hey, Fiardo. Not Fajardo. Fiardo.
Fajardo.
It's nearly Fatardo.
He bounced back. He played. And I think the coach said after the game, he stuck with his reads as a try and force. He ran. He did a lot of things, which I really liked. So, develop this young kid.
Yeah, I know. But I worry about him running the ball. And man, I know he's a tough kid, and that's what he does. But after what's happened to Caleros, I would get really nervous about that.
Quarterbacks in the last 5-10 years, right? That when we finally got a guy that looks like he might be something.
Yeah.
He looks good running the ball.
Yeah.
He's a sharp guy. He's a sharp guy.
The Calgary game, for whatever reason, he wasn't making good decisions. He was getting rid of the ball, but he was back to making nice reads. He was back to tucking it down when he needed to. He was back to.
You know what I like too is there was a balanced offense that I really liked, but also just a balanced team game. I mean, everybody contributed in that game.
And our defense was on. And you don't want to say that a short week and they were tired. That might have been it. But our defense played like they'd been playing prior to that game against Calgary. They had a lot of fire. They had a lot of energy. So it made for a great game, and good on them. They won a game they should have won. So let's see if they can double it up.
How about a punt return or a kick? What was that?
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Who called it?
Well, we called it here at Lancaster, and you should come here. If you can't make it to the game, come here to watch the game. But we called it here. Well before you called it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Darren, don't even go there. Like, seriously. Like, I've got 20
When you got
witnesses.
Marcus Thigpen up there,
20
you know,
witnesses.
It's an easy call.
he can break one at any time. That
Yeah.
guy's got
Fabulous.
the tools.
Fabulous.
Yeah, he really is.
I think someone behind me called that. Who called that punt return? There he is, right there. Right there.
Move your head. There he is. There he is.
You notice that we
Squirrely.
still have him sitting back there, so he's not really that good.
No. No, Darren's just jealous because the whole section would turn at me looking and go, how do you know that? And Tim knows it's a little Harry Potter magic that I used to have back in the day with field goals. And that's just the way it goes. Hey, it's a good one.
I don't compare myself anytime to Harry Potter.
That's okay. Look at you.
Me neither.
Zoom in again.
What do you mean?
Don't zoom in.
You're a magician.
Oh, I am.
All right, here we are at the Lancaster Tap House for this week's picks. Woodsy's weekly picks with members of Lancaster City Council. We have the mayor, Darren Wilcox, is here. Stacey Cattell from the Regina Pats, our city manager, our council manager, and our Ways and Means minister from the Lancaster Tap House is Tim Rogers. As we go over the picks for this week's games, we got a doubleheader on Thursday, gents. Starting off with Calgary and Ottawa. Who you got, Tim?
I'm off I've learned my lesson on Ottawa. I think, Calgary's going to win, and I think maybe they'll be a little woken up after a close call with Toronto, and I think they're going to win big.
Stace.
I agree with Tim. Nick Beltbuckle is going to get better and better every week. So give him some credit. Their team's going to play well. Ottawa's got quarterbacking problems, and their offense was anemic, and it's been trending that way, and I don't see any improvement.
Did Ottawa bring a new quarterback in?
They did, not that I know of.
I'm going with Harley Beltbuckle. Or Beltbuckle. Nick.
Beltbuckle, isn't it?
Is it Nick?
NQR buckle.
And,
I'm going with him.
okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
I'm gonna,
Good pick from the
all right, well,
peanut
since you
gallery.
guys are going with Calgary, then I'm going to go with the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
I have no reason to think that other than the fact that I need a cheap point, and I think I'm going to get one here. I think they're at home, and I suspect, I don't know what they're going to do with Jonathan Jennings. Had a chance last week to prove himself. He did not get it done.
They'll get more than a point next week.
I suspect that I bet you Davis goes back in.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to go with the Ottawa Red Blacks just because they are at home. Calgary, coming off a so-so game against the Argonauts, they will be better. But I still like Ottawa at home in this one over the Stampeders.
I got a bold prediction for the next one.
Oh, no. Well, the next one is Toronto at Edmonton. Bold prediction then, Mr. Wilcox.
Toronto wins. Jason Moss fired.
He will not. How many of these
And
have
that's
you
my
had
beer.
today?
And that's my beer.
What are you drinking?
Forget zoom in. We're zooming
Holy.
out
Wow.
from space.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa. He's been into the bubbly a little bit too much
we're
here.
a panel of
Wow.
non-experts, but
Come on. Okay. Okay.
Okay, even
Good on ya.
if Toronto does win that game, Jason Moss is not getting fired.
Okay.
I think that's
Toronto
a double
wins a game-
whammy.
Tony
Toronto's
One
gotta
Nostril
win a
from
game
Vegas
sometime.
says he's done if they lose.
Wow.
Way to go, Tony.
I'll tell you what, if Toronto does win that game, the Eskimos fans will be all over them. But
absolutely.
there's going to be pressure, no doubt, but
it's not happening.
it's not a firing offense.
No.
No.
You know, his pick could get lucky, and Harris could go down, and 4 other players could go down, and maybe they have a chance. But I'm going Edmonton all the way. What you're going to see in Edmonton, when they lost their other game, they're going to come back. I'm not a big Jason Moss fan, but he was.
I'm not either.
He was PO'd at half because of the penalties cost them that game. That's why I go back to my mantra. Penalties cost them that game. They didn't do well in the second half. So they are going to work hard. They are going to be better. And their defense will be dominant against a far inferior offensive line and offense in Toronto.
Yeah. Hard to go against the Eskimos in this one. I'm going Edmonton, and Toronto gave it. I think Toronto gave it all they had last week.
Are you going?
Yeah, Edmonton.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to join him.
No, I don't even need to say anything.
Yeah,
Okay,
Toronto
good.
gave it all they had
done.
last week, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah.
So they're finished. Friday, Winnipeg at Hamilton, maybe the marquee
Yes.
game of
Absolutely.
the week. Let's see here. Let's start off with Stacey Cattell.
Well, I've said I do not like Winnipeg. There's not a lot I like about Winnipeg. I hate the mosquitoes. and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Jets. But there's one thing I like about Winnipeg, Paul LaPolice. We talked about the quarterbacks, and we talked about their running backs. We had an opportunity to get Paul LaPolice back here when he was here. I love Paul LaPolice, and you're seeing a very strong offensive team, not just defensive. Paul LaPolice doing a great job. Winnipeg is going to dominate that game, and they are going to win.
I'm going to go with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I for some reason, and Winnipeg has played some good football, and they played some very good teams. They also played some so-so teams. I want to see them what they do against. And listen, are they going to go 18-0? No, they are not. If you're going to pick a game that they're going to lose, I think it's on the road in Hamilton, a very tough place to play, with a very good quarterback, great receiving core, and a solid defense. I'm going to go with the Ticats in this one.
This is a way bigger game for Hamilton than Winnipeg. They're fighting. They got Montreal breathing down their necks. Winnipeg's got this 3-game cushion or whatever, and you're right. They're not going to go 18-0. They're going to have to lose some point. And,
Labor Day in Saskatchewan.
Well, yeah, for sure.
That could be too, because they always lose.
Yeah, but I'm going Hamilton all the way on this game.
They've never gone 6-0, so I'm going Hamilton.
Wow, look at me on an island again.
You're on the island again. I don't know what it is. I just got this feeling for the
Are you
Ticats.
afraid?
They're going to be
I was
fired
on the
up.
island. I was not afraid.
Yeah, I think the Ticats are going to be fired up and ready to go for this one, and we'll see what happens.
Goal's very good today.
All right, Saturday's game, which you can see right here at the Lancaster Tap House, because it is the GreenZone
Best
Game
seats in
Day
the house.
Party, returns with the Riders on the road, rematch against the BC Lions.
And some lobster nachos.
I tell you, after last week's game, you would think, yeah, it's going to be Riders. BC will be coming out with their best game. I still think it's going to be the Riders.
I'm going Riders.
I just think they're the better team, and I just don't think that, I don't care what kind of adjustments that the BC Lions make, it's not going to be good enough.
No.
They were just trying to see if Riley can block it. Like, can he snap the ball to himself, block, and then go back and then make the pass? And I don't think they got that worked out yet.
Well, it's tough to win a back-to-back.
Yeah, it is very
Sure.
tough.
But you look at BC's team, you look at their offense. They have Mike Riley, they've got Brian Burnham, and they've got John White. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's all they used last week.
Yep.
I don't know. They're not going to win again. Or they will win again, but they won't beat the Riders.
Yeah, and I agree with that. The only caveat is it goes back to we have a young quarterback. I think we have a young offense. So I loved how we spread the ball out. Just stick to your guns, Cody. Work hard in practice. That's what the coach said. If we work hard in practice and do the things, it's going to transition to a great game. Our defense, blood's in the water. Mike Riley, I think, is on one leg already.
Yeah.
And our defense will know blood's in the water, and they're going to go after.
Can I add just one more thing? I think our receivers are getting used to our quarterback.
Absolutely.
And that was evident in that game.
Fajardo
Coming back.
and Shaq Evans have quite a connection.
So I think that's going to be, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
And
And I want to point this out because I was a little ticked at TSN on their evaluation of the game in Manny Arsenault. Manny Arsenault maybe caught one ball, but we watched that game. Manny Arsenault made 4 or 5 key blocks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Manny
he was-
Arsenault is playing in an off position. He's going to work his way into the offense. He made key blocks, contributing to a play. We're just going to start rolling forward here, and I'm excited about it.
I had a chance to talk to Zach Evans after the game. We were just walking off the field, and it wasn't an interview set up or anything. We were just, chirping away. And he says they're coming together as a team now.
Nice.
They're getting closer. There was a lot of turnover
Oh,
for
absolutely.
this team this year. He seems to feel that everybody, and it's a good locker room, it's a solid, everybody's getting along, and they're getting together as a team. I think they're going to win this football game again and really bury the BC Lions. So we'll see exactly what happens.
so get down here Saturday and watch the game here.
Absolutely. This is the place
Best place.
to be. Of course, with
Absolutely.
Coors Light, the official beer of the Green Zone. Our next GreenZone Game Day Party this Saturday night when the Saskatchewan Roughriders take on the BC Lions. Kickoff is 5 o'clock. The pregame show is on the air live from the Lancaster Tap House at 3 p.m. And a reminder to listen all week to the CJME Green Zone. And you can hear that on CKOM as well. But you can enter for your chance to win a VIP package. Come on down here. You never know. You could win some great hospitality here from the Lancaster Tap House and Tim Rogers. It's always a fun atmosphere down here.
And great insight from me. You'll get, it's unbelievable.
Who else would pick the Toronto Argonauts?
The whole panel will be there.
Wow. Hey, isn't that amazing?
And if you want to go and hassle him,
Yeah,
you're
feel
more than
free.
welcome because he
Knock
deserves
yourself
it.
out. Or the peanut gallery back there.
I'm Warren Woods for Lancaster City Council. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you again next week.
And it's a heat coming down the plains, stealing wheat and barley and all the other grain. And it's a farmers by your doors when you see the Jolly Roger on Regina's mighty shores. When you see the Jolly Roger on Regina's mighty shores.